I recently did a video about Kirby and the Forgotten Land. That video did not do very well, but it doesn't matter. I loved that game, and that game was really great because it had something that games just don't have anymore, and that is couch co-op. Oh my god, you're just sitting on the couch with your friends, playing games. It is the best time. And when I was thinking about it, I was like, you know what? I should do a video on really good Switch games that have couch co-op, you know? Something, sit down, play with your buds, have a good time, maybe like a party-like game where you can enjoy it with a few people. And you know, being that my channel is the way it is, of course I like to have physical copies of games. So I want to show you guys some really great couch co-op games you can play with 2 or more people that are all physical copies. So without further ado, let's jump into some of these awesome co-op hidden gems. I do want to start off with one small rule, and that is I'm not including fighting games. I mean, technically fighting games are 2-player, but they're not really co-op, except for that Street Fighter 2 like HD thing, because there's a 2-on-1 mode. But that's not really it. I mean, this is games where you're kind of on the same team doing stuff, and fighting games don't really hit that criteria. But anyway, let's jump right into the first one. First off, you really can't go wrong with a good shoot 'em up. Granted, shoot 'em ups are usually only going to be 2 players, but you know, Raiden 5 is a pretty good one. So I remember actually getting this game at Best Buy. They had a physical copy of it. I thought it was really cool. When I bought it, it was like a budget title at the time, so you know, like 30 bucks or whatever. Came with a manual and a mini disc style soundtrack, which I was like, dang, all that in this case, like, okay. But besides that, it's a good solid shoot 'em up. A lot of really cool powers. You can select kind of what powers you want to use at the start of the game. As far as there's like 3 different kind of like colors, and then each one has 3 different options. So you kind of pick that at the beginning. And yeah, I mean, like, there is like a plot to it. Obviously, if you're looking at the screen, like, people are talking non-stop. I've never listened to it because it's just like, I don't know, I don't really care. I'm just in here to blast people. But as a co-op game, it's really fun, and there's like a bajillion different difficulties. So if you're one of those people who like really takes your shoot 'em up seriously, you can play it on like hardcore and make it a really hard experience. Or you can do like we're doing here and slap that boy on very easy and just have a great time just burning down enemies. Overall, very fun game, awesome co-op game to play. It's a really good, like kind of like a stress reliever, really, especially on the easier difficulties. Next, I'm gonna have what I'm gonna call the beat 'em up block, and we are going to start this off with Double Dragon Neon. This game, pretty cool. Okay, Double Dragon Neon, I am like 50-50 on. 50-50 being like, I don't quite like the art style just because it's, you know, it's kind of these chunky models. But the gameplay and the music are so phenomenal that like it's really hard to like dunk on it too bad. First off, a cool thing they've added in this game is kind of like going with the style they're going for, is you pick up like these cassette tapes that basically act as power-ups. They give you permanent stat boosts, or they can give you like these super specials, like, you know, gives you an ability to shoot fireballs or summon a dragon. And the more of the same tape you collect, basically that power or ability levels up with you, which is really neat. That's why you'll get the same, you know, drop over and over again. Also, there's like a currency system that you can use to buy tapes and things like that from a shop. But the music is really cool. It has a badass 80s vibe. The game itself, the plot is actually really crazy. Like I said, the only hang up I have is the art style. I don't like it as much as I would if it was maybe hand drawn or sprites. But I know that's really expensive, so I don't want to, you know, really push that too hard. But overall, this is a great co-op game to play with friends. Now, the next game I want to talk about, it's another beat 'em up, obviously. We're in beat 'em up block still, but it's a game that was completely off my radar until a friend of mine actually got it for me as a gift. And I'm going to tell you right now, Fight and Rage is like way more fun than it has like any right to be. Yo, so Fight and Rage is friggin' crazy. First off, this game has a lot to offer. I like the aesthetic. I like how by default it has like the bubble screen CRT filter, which you can remove, but I left it on, of course. It's 3-player co-op. There is a ton of endings. There's like a bajillion endings, and then those same endings you can get in every single combination, as in you can get those same endings with all 3 characters individually, all the different pairings of 2, and then with all the characters at once. Also, as you play the game, you unlock a whole bunch of like credits and coins that you can use to unlock multiplayer, like one-on-one fighter modes, training modes, different difficulties, all sorts of stuff. Like, I don't even know what all you can unlock yet because there's so much to unlock. But the game itself is a solid beat 'em up. I personally played as the female character and the giant bull guy, so I can't speak to the third character myself, but those 2 characters played extremely drastically different. You know, the girl was very fast, a lot of combo oriented, while the bull was like obviously a powerhouse. One thing I really like about this game is you can, like, as you beat an enemy, if you kill them, you can keep juggling their body, and if you keep juggling them enough, like, they explode into the bone zone, baby. I mean, just a huge explosion of bones. But a cool thing about this game is there is a lot of branching paths, and some of the branching paths are obvious, like, you know, literally a branching path, like go up instead of down, but some of them are not obvious. I mean, the first level, the boss is holding a girl hostage, and if you get close, he cuts her throat, essentially, and kills her. The only way to stop that from happening is if you happen to have a knife walking into that battle and throw it at him, hitting him, freeing her. It's the only way to do it. So, like, there's a lot of stuff like that in this game that, like, you really almost have to research how to do everything, but I'm telling you, this game is wonderful. I am a huge fan of it. So this game, man, this was, I saw this on the Xbox, and I looked up online and saw that there was a physical copy on Switch, and I was like, you know what, let me give it a shot. And this thing's like a fever dream. You know, Onikawa Rush. This game, it's definitely not what I thought it was gonna be. So this game has a little bit of jank to it. I will say that I don't know if this game was... It's not polished. It's not polished. It was definitely play tested, but it's not polished. At least in co-op. I've only played this game in co-op, but in co-op sometimes, like, my buddy would, like, suck off the map and, like, just, like, be disappeared into the void, but then would just teleport back in. But this game is utter madness. I mean, like, talk about having a good time mashing buttons, blowing up enemies. It's just non-stop. I mean, it's crazy. We did not have a hard time playing it. I mean, like, there are one-hit kills you need to be careful of, but your character moves so fast and attacks so fast. It's, like, nuts. It's like a fever dream, really. But it's fun to watch, fun to play. This is a neat beat 'em up. It's a little, like I said, it's a little bit on the rougher side, though. I do remember I had to actually import this game because the physical copy is European only. It wasn't very expensive. Like, I'm not saying, you know, usually import games, you're paying full retail price plus shipping. This one was not that bad, but I will say it is a little janky, so, you know, if you don't feel like you want to pay the iron price to import a game, to get a game that's a little janky, then maybe you don't want to do it. But I will say that the game itself is so fun. If you don't mind paying the price to get it, which isn't really too bad, you will really enjoy this one. So the last game in my beat 'em up block is going to be a game called Ninja Saviors. Now, this is actually from the Super Nintendo originally, and this is kind of like a remake type situation. I will say, yeah, this one's also a little different. I don't quite know if we're playing as the good guy or not. So we played Ninja Saviors for a little while, and, like, man, we were going through, whooping a bunch of ass, and, like, we started to notice, like, I think you play as the bad guy here. I mean, look at, you know, I'm the big character here. Like, look at me. I'm, like, literally a hulking behemoth machine. And then my buddy is, like, this horrible, like, skeletal demon scythe thing, and from what I can tell, we're mostly killing people. I mean, I don't know about you, but something seems a little sus, right? I mean, like, yeah, are these guys doing anything wrong? Or, you know, or are we coming in and, like, putting the boot to them because, you know, the machines will take over? Hey, you be the judge. But that said, this is a fun game. Like, it's really cool. The pixel art style is amazing. There is, like, a kind of a risk-reward system as far as you guys share a power meter that also resets when you get hit. So, like, both of you have to be playing on your A game but you get rewarded by like going out with really high level attacks that kind of screen wipe the whole area. It's fun. It's a cool game. Moral ambiguity aside, definitely worth your time. And I believe I got this game on Amazon. Once again, a lot of these beat 'em ups, pretty much all these beat 'em ups, were budget titles. They never really charge full $60 retail. So this is a game you definitely need to check out. Now this game I actually got as it was a suggestion to me from a good friend of mine, and I will say that it was a suggestion that was very well received. This is a fun game if you're like kind of like in a Contra mood or something like that, and that is The Hunt Down. This game, you gotta check this out. So like I said, this game was a recommendation, and oh boy, it is awesome. The first thing I will highly suggest doing is you need to go through and turn on the screen shake to the maximum. I think it's like 400 or 500%, because there is nothing like an explosion making everything go wild. But yeah, this game is great. Oh, I love it. You get the special weapons, the pickups, and all that. Multiple characters to play as. Basically, you're more or less like a bounty hunter going through, just blasting the hell out of people. The sprite work is fantastic. The music is really cool. The guns are good. The gameplay is good. You can duck behind cover, but also hide into doorways. A lot of really cool options to play. I like how they kind of set up each boss as kind of a like a little individual, like story-driven thing in a big overarching area. And then each boss has like their own kind of like special abilities that make them not so, it's not just like kill the thug. It's like each one's doing something different, so you're not getting bored. On the whole, super fun game. If you like, like the Hotline Miami style feel, of like gritty action, violent shooter, you're gonna like this game. Like I said, it plays more like a Contra kind of situation, or maybe like RoboCop. But overall, super fun, super cool. Really brings me back to like the Super Nintendo days, Sega. Really major Sega vibes, big time Sega vibes, just because of like just the grittiness of it. Okay, this one is totally off the rails compared to everything else I've shown you. This game is like beyond different. It's not at all like anything that's been on this list so far. And I will say that as of recording this video, this game was like $15 for a physical copy. I saw it at Target for that price, and I got mine on Amazon. I bought this game because I wanted to get something that my wife would enjoy too, and it ended up being one of the like funnest games to play with friends. It is 4-player. It is just bonkers fun, stupid kind of madness, and that is very Valet. This game is stupid fun. Alright, so you're all on the same team. The basic premise of the game is a car pulls up to whatever you're doing. Restaurant, cleaners, observatory. Your job is to take the car, park it somewhere, and then eventually the people come back out and they want their car back. The long story short is you have a certain amount of time to get the car when they pull up, and a certain amount of time to bring the car back. However, if you are at least in the car, it doesn't matter if the meter is all the way red. As long as you're in the car and get it back to the thing, you're still good. If that meter goes all the way red to the max, then the car gets taken and you basically lose like a point, 3 points, and you're out. I will say, the more people you're playing this with, the crazier it gets. And there are no rules. Like, you do not need to park the car carefully. You don't need to bring the car back carefully. You can bring the car back, you could drive it off a cliff, lose the hood and the doors and the windshield, and like smash it into the thing, and the people be like, hey, thanks for the car. And it's like, alright, see you tomorrow. And it is so fun, and this game becomes chaos. I mean, the first level is fine and all, where it's like, alright, park here, get your way out, but eventually you have like teleportation, or you're working at a car wash and you have to get certain cars clean before you can deliver them, or get cars repaired a certain way, or even have car launchers that launch the car back up to the where you need to pick people up. This game is so fun, and like I said, it's actually the cheapest one on the list. This game is one of those things where you walk into the store, Target or whatever, and like you look at this thing and you'd be like, this looks like junk, like very Valet, and it has like a Muppet on the front. Like, what is this? So you definitely pass over it, especially when you see like the $15-$20 price tag. But do not get caught slipping on this game. If you want a fun game, like up there with like an enjoyable time like Mario Party with a bunch of friends who don't even need to be gamers, just people who want to enjoy like a fun time, this is your game. So those are a bunch of really cool physical copy games that you can get for your Switch for some fun couch co-op, good afternoon kind of hangout sesh. But hey, let me know if you've played any of these in the comments down below and what you think of them. And also let me know if there's any games I missed. I mean, I know there's a bunch of games out there that I know I missed. Specifically, I'm kind of thinking physical copy, but you know, I know there's some really great digital ones too, so I'd like to hear about those as well. But like I said, let me know what you guys are playing with your friends down below. Hey, and that's going to do it for us today, guys. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you haven't, you should. That'd be really cool. But as always, my friends, take it easy.